Yesterday, the worst kept secret in Overwatch was finally officially revealed, with 222 Roll-Log being implemented into the game, with its first major usage being in the Stage 4 of the Overwatch League. So for this video, I want to go over all the details in regards to 222 as it affects OWL, as well as all the other changes and announcements that are coming that you may have missed in the frenzy surrounding this topic. But be sure to stick around to the end of the video, where I'll give some of my own thoughts on 222 and its impact on the game away from Overwatch League, highlighting some of the other changes that are on the way as well. I'm sure most of you will understand what 222 Roll-Log means, but I'll just quickly explain it here. From now on, team compositions will consist of 2 damage, 2 tank, and 2 support heroes at all times, with players unable to switch off or change roles during a map, meaning whichever role you load into the map on as, you are locked into until the same map has ended, with the player only able to swap between heroes of that role in its duration. Although between maps, teams will be allowed to move players from one role to another. For the Overwatch League, it's been decided that to aid the viewing experience for fans, players will be seated from left to right when facing the stage, with the damage players to the left, tank players in the middle, and supports to the right. And in keeping to this formation, players that switch roles from one map to another will also have to switch seating positions as well. So for example, if a damage player is put onto support from one map to another, they have to move themselves and their setup from the position on the left over to the right. At its core, that's how the introduction of 222 Roll-Log is going to change how the Overwatch League works from an administrative and fan viewing point of view, with the league explaining that teams were informed of this change and decision in early June, so they had over a month to prepare for it. I'll return to my thoughts on how 222 might impact the gameplay a little later on, but beside it, the league also gave us some other announcements regarding Stage 4 I want to get to now. Again, like in Stage 3, the match of the week will be returning and be played on the first series of every Sunday, with the only exception being at the LA Valiant homestand in Week 5. Of course, due to them wanting to prioritise different matchups, the schedule has been updated slightly. Stage 4's matches of the week have been announced, as the Shanghai Dragons vs Seoul Dynasty in Week 1, Atlanta Reign vs Houston Outlaws in Week 2, Philadelphia Fusion vs Vancouver Titans in Week 3, London Spitfire vs Atlanta Reign in Week 4, and lastly, the LA Gladiators vs the LA Valiant in the Battle of LA at the LA Valiant homestand in Week 5. And overall, whilst I really enjoyed watching the extra content and hype packages that they produced for these matchups in Stage 3, it would be nice if the matches of the week actually delivered for once, with all the ones previously finishing 4-0. I'll also just quickly mention that each week during the Watchpoint pre-shows, we're also looking to put on 1v1 duel series they'll be announcing on Twitter, following the success and great reception to the previous installments of Bren Beatdowns and Goliath Clash of Two Hammers. The last news I have regarding Stage 4 that was announced alongside 222 Roll-Log is the next map pool that the teams will be playing on. For Control, the 3 maps are Helios, Busan and Lijiang Tower. For Assault, there's Hanamura, Volskaya Industries and Temple of Anubis. Hybrid brings us Hollywood, Blizzard World and Kings Row. And lastly for Escort is Havana, Junkertown and Route 66. Overall, I really like the look of this map pool, and I think it's going to suit the new meta really well that we'll be seeing in Stage 4. And even if there are some of my favourite maps missing, like Iconwald, I think we can all agree that Paris not being one of the Assault maps is a great sight to see. But now with all the Stage 4 info out of the way, I'll give you guys my thoughts on 222 Roll-Log and some other changes to the game that are coming. You can currently play in the new setup on the PTR, but it'll hit live servers on or around August 13th, but there will be a beta competitive season before the first proper season begins on September 1st. One of the biggest details coming with this, that a lot of you will have missed, given it wasn't mentioned in the developer update, but Jeff has confirmed that the current plan is to remove SR decay from the rank ladder, meaning you won't have to keep playing matches once a week to keep your rating where it is, from Diamond and above. So what about my overall thoughts and opinions on this change, both for Overwatch and the Overwatch League? Personally, I've always been in the camp that has been in favour of adding this sort of system into the game, as I think it will benefit the game in the long run in terms of balance, enjoyment and viewing pleasure, providing the development team with a core spine from which they can work on the game around. I understand people's concerns regarding it saying it kills creativity, but I have to agree with what Jeff has said in regards to this, about how creativity will still be able to thrive. I also really like the addition of different SR ranks for each position, even as a flex player myself, as I totally agree with his point, but although myself and others in the past have been willing to fill for the team, this can have a detrimental effect on both my own gameplay and the team play as a whole, if I'm weaker at a certain role. Whilst it should highlight and improve my play on specific positions, I can happily focus on, in the knowledge that I'll be guaranteed a spot at that specific position when I load into a match. However, I do have a few apprehensions about the timing of 222 Roll-Log in regards to the Overwatch League. I'm thrilled that all the top DPS stars and talents that have been stuck in Brig Jail and the Zarya Gulags will finally be able to show off their skill and quality. For myself personally, Really looking forward to seeing what players like Sabiolbi can do on his Tracer, as Fletcher and Carpe hopefully return to their 2018 peaks, and I'm really looking forward to seeing their Widow duels, as well as others. If I'm being honest though, I would have liked to see this implemented in Stage 3 or earlier, and if not then for Season 3. The reason I don't like the timing of Stage 4 for its introduction is that this kind of renders a lot of this season up to now as pointless. Obviously, I understand that teams like the Shock, Titans and Excelsior have already locked up their top 6 spots, whilst the Mayhem and Justice have knocked themselves out of the running for a top 12 spot, but it just doesn't sit right with me that a team like Paris, that has underwhelmed all season, could have a really strong Stage 4, finish inside the top 12 with more losses than wins, and then run the gauntlet all the way to winning. Whilst hypothetically the best teams like Vancouver and San Francisco might struggle, although if I'm being honest, with talents like Striker and Haxel, I think both of these teams are fine. I get that this would be an amazing storyline, but it feels like it might take away from the prestige of this season when it's looked back upon retrospectively. As in, X played badly from stages 1 to 3 and only ended up winning in the end due to massive changes in Stage 4. Obviously I don't know, but I'm really happy to give this change time and a chance before I hold a firm view on it, and I encourage others to do the same, not blindly praise 222 or give up on the game entirely, without giving it a chance first and a moment to breathe. And with that, we reach the end of my 222 roll log and Stage 4 information video, and I'd like to thank you for watching. Be sure to check back a little later today, because I'm feeling in the mood for a double upload. So if you enjoyed and don't want to miss out, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter for this continuing Overwatch League coverage and content, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.